Welcome to my channel. Life is relationships. Important lessons. Relationships can be platonic, romantic, codependent, casual, open, or destructive. Each type has unique traits, advantages, and difficulties that influence interpersonal relationships. You may create better connections and steer clear of bad habits that are bad for your health by being conscious of these distinctions.
Throughout your life, you will have a variety of relationships, including romantic alliances, familial ties, and friendships. Expectations, advantages, and difficulties vary depending on the type. Understanding these different relationships and how to maintain them is crucial because social support and interpersonal relationships are so important for both physical and mental well-being.
Identifying various relationship types. Any connection, positive or negative, between two individuals is referred to as a relationship. Relationships are possible with a variety of individuals, including friends and relatives. Although it is frequently associated with romantic partnerships, the term, being in a relationship, can refer to a variety of ties that an individual has with another. Being in a relationship does not always include commitment, emotional attachment, or physical intimacy. Individuals participate in a wide variety of relationships, each with its own distinct qualities. 1. Platonic relationships.
A platonic relationship is a type of friendship that involves a close, intimate bond without sex or romance. These relationships tend to be characterized by
closeness, fondness, understanding,
respect, care, support, honesty, acceptance. Platonic relationships can take place in a variety of contexts and entail friendships between people of the same or different sexes. You may establish a platonic friendship with a coworker or classmate, or you may connect with someone in a different context, like a club, sporting event, or volunteer organization. Your health and well-being depend on social support, which can be provided by this kind of relationship. According to research, platonic connections can improve your immunity, lower your chance of despair or anxiety, and minimize your risk of illness. 1. Closeness and friendship without sexual activity are characteristics of platonic partnerships. Over time, platonic relationships might occasionally evolve into romantic or sexual ones. A friends to lovers scenario or a friends with benefits scenario are two examples. 2. Romantic connections.
Love and attraction for another person are the hallmarks of romantic relationships. Romantic love can take many different forms, but it frequently entails feelings of commitment, intimacy, and infatuation. Numerous theories have been developed by experts to explain how humans feel and express love. For instance, desire, closeness, and decision, commitment are the three primary elements of love, according to psychologist Robert Sternberg. He clarifies that romantic love is a blend of closeness and passion, too. Over time, romantic relationships sometimes undergo changes.
1. Honeymoon phase. 2. Conflict phase. 3. Commitment phase.
Honeymoon phase. At the start of a relationship, when people are first falling in love, people typically experience stronger feelings of passion. During this initial infatuation period, the brain releases specific neurotransmitters, dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin, that cause people to feel euphoric and in love. Conflict phase. Over time, these feelings start to lessen in intensity. People start to notice their partner's flaws, and conflicts may start to come up. This stage is important for helping people learn to navigate relationship challenges. Commitment phase. As the relationship matures, people develop deeper levels of emotional intimacy and understanding. Romantic relationships often burn hot at the beginning. That's why we often feel like we can't stop thinking about the object of our affection and want to be near them all the time. While the initial feelings of passion usually lessen in strength over time, feelings of trust, emotional intimacy, and commitment grow stronger. 3. Codependent relationships.
An unbalanced, problematic relationship in which one partner is emotionally, physically, or mentally dependent on the other is known as a codependent relationship. 3. Additionally, it is typical for both couples to rely on one another. They may alternately act as the caregiver and the person receiving care. A codependent relationship has the following traits:
acting as a giver while the other person acts as a taker. Going to great lengths to avoid conflict with the other person. Feeling like you have to ask permission to do things. Having to save or rescue the other person from their own actions. Doing things to make someone happy, even if they make you uncomfortable. feeling like you don't know who you are in the relationship, elevating the other person even if they've done nothing to earn your goodwill and admiration.
But not every codependent relationship is created equal. The severity of them can differ. Relationships between love partners, parents and children, friends, other family members, and even coworkers can all be impacted by codependency. Relationships that are codependent are co-constructed. One spouse may appear more needy, whereas the other may feel more at ease being required. For example, someone who is better at ease being required can choose a spouse who is always in need of them in order to avoid concentrating on their own wants. 4. Casual relationships.
Casual relationships are frequently dating partnerships that don't require commitment or monogamy and may entail sex. Experts contend that the term is ambiguous and that various people may interpret it differently. According to researchers, informal relationships might include circumstances like
one-night stands, booty calls, sex, buddies.
These kinds of relationships frequently fall on a spectrum that varies in terms of the degree of friendship, frequency of contact, type of interaction, amount of personal revelation, and discussion of the relationship. According to the study, individuals who had more sexual experience were better able to define these identities than those who had less. Young individuals frequently engage in casual partnerships. Casual relationships can have a number of sex-positive advantages as long as they are characterized by consent and communication. Without the emotional strain and energy investment of a more committed relationship, they can satiate the need for sex, closeness, connection, and companionship. Although persons of any age can participate in casual relationships, younger folks are more likely to do so. Communication and consent are essential. 5. Open relationships.
A consensually non-monogamous relationship in which one or more partners engage in sexual activity or other relationships is known as an open relationship. In an open relationship, both parties consent to having sex with others, albeit there may be restrictions or stipulations. Any kind of romantic engagement, whether it be casual, dating, or married, can involve open partnerships. Non-monogamous partnerships are sometimes stigmatized. However, studies indicate that between 21% and 22% of adults will have an open relationship at some point in their lives. The likelihood of engaging in an open relationship also depends on gender and sexual orientation. Men reported having higher numbers of open relationships compared to women. People who identify as gay, lesbian, and bisexual were more likely to report previous engagement in open relationships compared to those who identify as heterosexual. Such relationships can have benefits, including increased sexual freedom, and pitfalls, such as jealousy and emotional pain. Open relationships are more successful when couples establish personal, emotional, and sexual boundaries and clearly communicate their feelings and needs. Open relationships are a form of consensual non-monogamy. While there is a primary emotional and often physical connection between the two people in the relationship, they mutually agree to intimacy with other people outside of the relationship. 6. Toxic relationships.
Any kind of interpersonal relationship that jeopardizes or threatens your emotional, physical, or psychological well-being is considered poisonous. These kinds of relationships frequently leave you feeling unsupported, misunderstood, ashamed, or humiliated. Any kind of relationship, whether sexual, familial, professional, or friendship-based, can be toxic.
Signs of toxic types of relationships. Toxic relationships are characterized by insufficient assistance, placing blame, competitiveness, controlling actions, disrespect, being dishonest, gaslighting, anger, envy, passive-aggressive actions, stress and poor communication.
Sometimes all people in a relationship play a role in creating this toxicity. For example, you may be contributing to toxicity if you are all consistently unkind, critical, insecure, and negative. In other cases, one person in a relationship may behave in ways that create toxic feelings. This may be intentional, but in other cases, people may not fully understand how they are affecting other people. Because of their past experiences with relationships, often in their home growing up, they may not know any other way of acting and communicating. This doesn't just create discontentment, toxic relationships can take a serious toll on your health. For example, according to one study, stress caused by negative relationships has a direct impact on cardiovascular health. 8 Feeling isolated and misunderstood in a relationship can also lead to loneliness, which has been shown to have detrimental effects on both physical and mental health. Toxic relationships can be stressful, harmful, and even abusive. If you are in a toxic relationship with someone in your life, work on creating strong boundaries to protect yourself. Talk to a mental health professional or consider terminating the relationship if it is causing you harm. How to recognize different relationship types in your life.
What matters to you and how the other person feels are two of the many aspects that influence how you define your relationship. Asking a few questions can help you define your connection.
Do you have romantic feelings for one another? What does each person hope to get out of the relationship? How much time do you want to spend together? Where do you see the relationship going? Are you currently involved with or want to be involved with other people?
Determining what you and your partner value is a crucial first step in identifying the kinds of relationships you want. You may learn that you have distinct goals for your relationship or that you are both on the same page. It's not necessary to make a long-term commitment to define your relationship. Rather, it may be a means of assisting you both in comprehending the limits and demands of your partnership.
Advice for maintaining the health of any kind of relationship.
Regardless of the nature of your relationship, it is crucial that it be healthy. Mutual respect, openness, honesty, affection, and trust are the hallmarks of healthy relationships. Another important component is effective communication. Techniques that can be useful include
expressing gratitude and admiration, speaking honestly and freely, being loving and demonstrating concern, respect for one another, listening intently, taking an interest in one another and offering encouragement and support, having compassion for one another, having healthy limits and spending time together, being reliable.
Communication is often the single most important thing in a relationship. Communication, the heart of a relationship, examining capitalization, accommodation, and self-construal on relationship satisfaction. Front cycle. Good relationships are also marked by honesty, trust, and reciprocity. This doesn't mean that the relationship is purely transactional. It indicates that you naturally engage in a give and take that provides mutually beneficial support. But if a relationship is causing stress or shows signs of being toxic, look for ways to establish clear boundaries, talk to a therapist, or even consider ending the relationship if it is taking too much of a toll on your well-being.
This video explores the different types of relationships we experience in life, such as family, romantic, friendships, professional, and social relationships, and how each one affects our emotional, mental, and personal growth. It explains how to identify which types of relationships exist in your life, helping you understand their role, value, and impact on your well-being. You'll also learn practical tips for keeping every type of relationship healthy, including communication, trust, boundaries, empathy, and mutual respect. By understanding relationships more deeply, you can improve your happiness, reduce stress, and build stronger connections in every area of life.
Thank you so much for spending your precious time with me today. If this video added a little light to your day, consider subscribing to join our growing family. Your support means the world, and I can't wait to share more with you. A heartfelt thank you for watching until the end. If you enjoyed our time together and would love to continue this journey, I would be so honored to have you subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment and say hello. I love hearing from you.